Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today I am going to show you how to make this very relatively simple ribbed crochet beanie. This is sized for an adult using Karen Cake's yarn. This is the yarn that I'm going to be using today, and the colorway I'm going to be using is Bumbleberry. This is a medium worsted weight 4 yarn. So what you're going to need for this tutorial is you're going to need your crochet hook. I am using a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is also known as an eye hook. There's usually another number that goes along with that, but it is not marked on my hook, so I don't know what that is. You are also going to want a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle for weaving in your ends when you are done, and of course your yarn. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to take off my ball band here. And this is a relatively simple start. If you are not familiar with how to do a lot of these crochet stitches, that is okay. We are going to walk through most of them together. I expect you to have like a very basic knowledge of crochet here, like chains and how to make a slip knot, because I'm not very good at teaching how to do a slip knot. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, and I've done this 2 different ways, but we're going to start at the top here. Let's start at this star portion here. I've done this 2 different ways, and it's really up to you how you want to do it. If you're an experienced crocheter, you can do this by doing the magic ring, and I know that'll work for a lot of you, but if you don't want to do the magic ring, which I know can be confusing, what I recommend you do is start with a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 4, 3 and 4, and we are just going to slip stitch back into the first one, and this is going to create a very tiny chain ring here. So this is how I'm going to start for this, for our easier crochet people, for our beginners. So let's do that again, because I went through that kind of fast. Create your slip knot, insert your hook, and chain 4. So yarn over your hook and pull through. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here's the top hump, 2, 3, and 4. Insert your hook into that first slip knot, yarn over, pull through that loop, and then pull through the loop on the hook. That's your slip stitch. And now you should have this tiny ring with this center hole right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2. And the chains at the beginning of the rounds do not count as a stitch. This is just so that we can get to the height that we need. I also am of the school of thought that you chain 1 less than the height. So for my double crochets, I always chain 2 instead of 3. Same with like trebles, I do 3 instead of 4. Half double crochet, I only chain 1. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet into the center of this ring. So that means we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the center of the ring, yarn over our hook and pull through. So now we should have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2. And now into the center, we're going to do a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the center, yarn over the hook and pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on the hook. So we should now have 2 stitches. We have our double crochet and our half double crochet. We want to get to 12 stitches, and we want to do it alternating the double crochet, half double crochet. So that's 1, 2, the third one's going to be double crochet, yarn over, insert hook into the center, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, half double, yarn over, insert into the center, yarn over, 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 3. So I'm going to do that 4 more times, alternating double, half double, double, half double. So here we go. Double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, and half double crochet. So we should have 12 total stitches. And I usually count backwards from the one I just did, just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. So this is my first stitch right here. We're going to insert our hook under both of the V's of the top of the stitch. Right, my finger probably got in the way. Show that again. Right here. All right, and we're going to yarn over, pull through that, and then pull through the loop on the hook. And now we have closed our first round. Round number 2 is going to be an increased round. So we're going to chain 2 to begin. Now we're going to start our round with a front post double crochet. So you're going to yarn over as you would for double crochet. Instead of inserting your hook into the top of the stitch, we're going to go on the right side of the stitch behind that double crochet and out through the left side. Show that again. So we've yarned over. On the right side of the stitch, we're going to go down. We're going to push that double crochet up. We're going to come out on the left side. And we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull that around. We've got 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, the next stitch we have is our half double crochet. And we're going to do 2 half double crochets into this stitch because we are increasing. So we're going to yarn over, and there's 1 half double, yarn over, and 2 half double. All right, so that's what we want to do. Those 3 stitches are what we're going to do all the way around. So for the next set, here's our double crochet. We're going to do another front post double. So yarn over from right behind up on the left, yarn over, pull through, 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 2 half double crochets in the top of the half double. 1 and 2. All right, I'll do that with you one more time. Yarn over, front post double. Here's the double. We go in on the right, up on the left, yarn over, pull through, so we've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 2 half double in the top of the half double. 1 and 2. So do that sequence 3 more times. Front double, front post double, and 2 half double. 1 and 2. Front post double. And then 1 and 2 half doubles. And last sequence, front post double. And 2 half doubles. 1 and 2. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of this front post double. the first one. And there we go. That is round 2. Round 3, chain 2. We are going to front post double around that first stitch. We're going to half double in the next stitch. And again, we're increasing. So in this next half double stitch, we're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet into the top of that same stitch. So 1 double and 1 half double. All right, so that's the sequence of 4 stitches. I'll do that with you one more time. Next stitch should be the front post double. We're going to do another front post double. We're going to do a half double at the top of the next stitch. And in the top of the next half double, we're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. So there's the double, and there's the half. All right, and we'll do that all the way around. Front post double, half double, double, and half double in the same stitch. Front post double, half double, double, and half double in the same stitch. Front post double, half double, double and half post double in the same stitch, half double. I'm probably saying post in a lot of places I shouldn't be. Anyway, front post double, half double, double and half double in the same stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first half double, or the first front post double crochet right here. And done. So you can kind of see how the star is starting to come together, and this will make more sense as we continue, continue on our next rounds. This is what happens when I have to continue pulling yarn off the cake. All right, so that was round 3, right? Yep. So now, chain 2 to begin the next round. Front post double crochet, half double in the next. The next stitch should be a double crochet, so we're going to front post double crochet around that stitch. And then we have a half double. We're going to do 2 half doubles in that stitch. 1 and 2. That will be the sequence of 5 stitches we are going to be doing all the way around. So I'll do that with you one more time. Front post double, half double. We're going to do a front post double around the double from the previous round. And then 2 half doubles in the next stitch. 1 and 2. So each sequence of 5 stitches has a front post, a half double, a front post, and then 2 half doubles. So each sequence of 5 will have that. So here's the third sequence. Front post double, half double, front post double, and 2 half doubles in the next stitch. All right, do that sequence 3 more times. Front post double, half double, front post double, 2 half doubles. Front post double, half double, front post double, 2 half doubles, front post double, half double, front post double, and 2 half doubles. And we're going to slip stitch to the top of that first front post double. Awesome! This is going to look so good. And I love that you can do this pattern with any kind of yarn. You can do striped, you can do solid, you can do variegated, anything to your heart's content. All right, let's start the next round, which is round 5, if I'm counting correctly. Chain 2 to begin. Front post double around the first one. Then we're going to half double. Front post double. Half double in the first half double from the previous round. In the second half double from the previous round, we're going to do a double crochet and a half double crochet. You can kind of see how this pattern is working. We're increasing in the last stitch and we're setting up for those front post stitches as we go around. So that was a sequence of 6 stitches. Let's do this, the second set here. We're going to do a front post double, half double in the next stitch, a front post double, half double in the next stitch, and in the last half double from the previous round, you're going to do 1 double crochet, and in the same stitch, you're going to do 1 half double crochet. So double crochet and half double crochet in that last stitch. You should have 6 stitches in that sequence. I'll do one more with you. Front post double, half double in the next stitch, front post double, half double in the next stitch, and in the next stitch you're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. All right, do that sequence 3 more times. Oops, front post double, half double, front post double, half double, 1 double, 1 half double in the same stitch. Front post double, half double, front post double, half double. Need more yarn. Might as well just put that on the floor so it just comes off. And last stitch of that sequence, we're going to do a double and a half double. All right, last one. Front post double, half double. Front post double, half double, 1 double, and 1 half double in that last stitch, and slip stitch to the first front post double. It's growing. It looks so good. Let's start the next round. Chain 2 to begin. Front post double, half double, front post double, half double, front post double around the double crochet from the previous round, and 2 half doubles in the last stitch of this sequence. Let's do that sequence one more time. Front post double, half double, front post double, half double, front post double around the double from the previous round, and 2 half doubles in that last stitch. All right, do that sequence all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the beginning. We're back at the end of the round. We're going to slip stitch to that first front post double. I apologize, my dogs. It is that time of day, and they just bark at everything. And that is what we have so far. You can kind of see how this is working. So we've got, that's our first stitch of each sequence. There's the second front post, and there's the third. So each section will have 6 of these when we are all said and done, when it's time to stop increasing. So from here on out, I'm going to give you the sequence to begin with, and then I'll meet you at the end, because it does take, as you get wider, it does take longer to get through each sequence or each round. But it's pretty similar to what we've been doing, working the increases the way that we have been. And but once we add this 6th one in, then we'll stop increasing, and it'll be pretty self-explanatory from there. So give me just a moment, and we'll get started on that. Okay, let's start the next round. We're going to chain 2 to begin. And here's the sequence we're going to follow for this round. We're going to front post double, half double, front post double, half double, front post double, half double, and then we are going to double and half double in the last stitch of the sequence. So let me go over that again. You're going to front post double, half double. You're going to do that 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And then in the last stitch, you're going to have a double and a half double. So you should have a total of 8 stitches in each section. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. All right, I'm at the end of the round, and now I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that first front post double crochet. You can see as I worked here, there's a knot in my yarn. I am not really too worried about it. I'll find a way to poke it through or something when we're done. Could get covered up as I work over the next one. Anyway, so let's start the next round, and I'll show you that sequence. We're going to chain 2 to begin. And of course, we're going to front post double crochet, half double crochet, front post double crochet, half double crochet, front post double crochet, half double crochet. Now we're going to front post double crochet around that double crochet from the previous round, and 2 half doubles in the last stitch of the sequence there. So let's review that. You're going to front post half double crochet and then half double crochet, and you're actually going to do that 4 times, and then you're going to put 1 more half double crochet in that last stitch. So that's going to be your increase. You're going to do front post double, half double 4 times, and then put 1 more half double in that last stitch for a total of 9 stitches in your repeat. So go ahead and do that 5 more times around, and I will meet you at the end of the round. Okay, here I am at the end of this round, and we're just going to slip stitch to the top of that first front post double crochet, and we are going to begin our last wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, we still have a few increase rounds to go because we have to have 6 of these front post rows, columns, whatever we're going to call those. We have to get to 6 of those before we are done increasing. So let's start this next round, and I'll give you the sequence here. Chain 2 to begin, front post double, half double, 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 and in this last stitch we're going to do 1 double and 1 half double. That is your sequence. You're going to front post double, half double crochet 4 times, and in the last stitch you're going to do a double crochet and a half double crochet. Do that 5 more times, and I will meet you at the end of this round. All right, here we are at the end of that round. We're going to slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. This is really coming together. I really love the way that this looks. I think the increases really kind of make this a really fun and special hat. So let's go ahead and begin the next round, and I'll give you that sequence. We're going to chain 2 to begin, of course. Have to get some more yarn. Put my yarn on a yarn spindle because I didn't really have a better way to do this. Okay, and as you can also see, I have my first color change, which is very exciting. I love when the color changes. It's something new, something different to look at. Okay, so we've chained 2 to begin, and we're going to go through our regular alternating sequence here. Front post double, half double, 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 and we've got 1 more front post double around that double from the previous round, and then 2 half doubles in the last stitch. All right, so that sequence, you're going to front post double, half double 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to put 1 more half double crochet in that last stitch for the increase. So you should have a total of 11 stitches per sequence. If you can hear my dogs barking, I do apologize. Again, it is that time of day. They just love to bark at everybody they can see on the sidewalk. Anyway, so do this sequence of 5 front post doubles, half double, alternating. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then add 1 more half double crochet in that last stitch. Do that 5 more times, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. And here we are at the end of this round. Again, we are going to slip stitch into the top of that first front post double crochet to close our round. Now, we are going to begin the last round of increases. From here, there will be no more increasing. So I know that's going to be so exciting because it means we're done with having to remember our sequences. So let's go ahead and get started on that. We're going to chain 2 to begin, of course. And let's do our sequence here. We're going to do a front post double and a half double, a front post double, and a half double, a front post double, and a half double, a front post double, a half double, a front post double, a half double, and in this last stitch we're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. So in this sequence you're going to do a front post double, half double crochet. You're going to do that 5 times. And in the last stitch, you're going to do 1 double crochet and 1 half double crochet. You should have 12 stitches in every sequence. So 12 in every sequence, 6 times. When you are done with this round, you should have a total of 72 stitches. So go ahead and do this sequence 5 more times. Front post double, half double 5 times. Last stitch, double crochet, half double crochet in the same stitch, and I will meet you at the end of this round. And here we are at the end of our final increase round. Let's join with our slip stitch to the top of the first front post double crochet. And there you have it. You should have 72 stitches all the way around. You should have 12 stitches per sequence. From here on out, there will be no increasing and no decreasing. It will remain 72 stitches all the way around. I'm going to do part of this next round with you, but from there on out, it should be pretty clear what stitches you're going to do and where. And when we get to the end of this round, I'll tell you how many rounds you need to do before we do the final brim. So let's get started on this first of our non-increasing rounds. Chain 2 to begin. And we are going to do our sequence of front post double, half double, and we're actually just going to do that same 2 stitches. We're going to do that 6 times. So there's the front post double and the half double, the front post double and the half double, the front post double, half double, front post double, half double, and our last front post double around that double crochet from the previous round, and a half post double in that last stitch. Remember, no increases, so we are just using that last stitch and only 1 stitch there. You should still have 12 stitches for that sequence. So remember, it is front post double, half double crochet 6 times for the sequence with no increase. Go ahead and do that all the way around and I'll meet you at the end. And here we are at the end of our first non-increasing round. So we're going to slip stitch to the top of our first front post double crochet. I'm going to go ahead and pull that long so we can just kind of see how things are looking. And it's going to curl a little bit. Don't worry, that'll even out as you continue along. Just look at that beautiful increase pattern. I absolutely love the crown of this hat. And if you had a little bit of a darker color, maybe it'll look a little darker. But absolutely gorgeous. So, here's our other hat for comparison. Actually, switch these. Now, fold this so you can see kind of our brim. We've just done a non-increase round, which is about up here somewhere on this hat. You're going to do 10 more rounds of alternating front post double, half double. So you're going to front post double the front post doubles, and you're going to half double the half doubles. And you're going to do that for a total of 11 rounds. But remember, we just did one, so you're going to do 10 more rounds. And then from there, we will do the brim, and I will show you when we get there. But for now, go ahead and pause this video, do 10 more rounds of alternating front post double, half double, and then I will meet you when it's time to start the brim of the hat. So go forth, work on just getting the length of the hat, and I will join you when you are ready to move on. All right, everyone, how did you do? Here we are, 10 full rounds later from the point where I left off with you. This looks wonderful. Very, very pleased. I hope you are as happy with yours as I am with mine. Let's finish up the brim, shall we? This is going to be super, super quick. All we're going to do is single crochet. It's going to be so simple, so beautiful. You're going to love it. So all you're going to do to go from here is we're going to chain one. We're going to single crochet in the same stitch. And we are going to single crochet in the top of every stitch around. There will be 72 single crochets at the end of this round. I will join you when I get back around, and I'm going to talk about 2 different ways that you can continue with the brim of this hat depending on the kind of look that you want to have on yours. So crochet around, and I will meet you at the beginning, or the end of this round, I should say. Okay, here I am at the end of my first single crochet round. There are 2 ways that you can go about doing the other rounds of this brim, and it really depends on the look that you want to have. So you can continue to do what we've been doing, which is to slip stitch to the first stitch, and then you can chain one, single crochet in the same stitch, and just keep going around. And you can do that for the additional 4 rounds if that's what you want to do, and that is perfectly acceptable. That if I do that with any of my hat patterns or the hats that I make, that just is where I put the seam at the back of the head and I don't worry about it. However, if you want to have a seamless brim, because the rest of this does pretty well blend in with all of the ribbing, the seam area isn't incredibly noticeable from the rest of the hat. So if you want to have more of a seamless brim, what I suggest you do is, instead of slip stitching into this first stitch, you just single crochet into the top of it and you continue to work around. This will give you a spiral. However, if you do want to do this method, I encourage you to use a stitch marker or a scrap piece of yarn or a safety pin or something to mark this first stitch so you know where to end. So what I would do is, I've done the first stitch there, that was the top of the first stitch of that round. I'm going to go ahead and do one more stitch, and I tend to just leave my hook in there. So we've got the second one and the first one here. I'm actually going to grab a safety pin, if I can get these cases open. Mine are already all open because these are the safety pins that I use for basting my quilts. And I'm going to put that safety pin right in the top of that first stitch of the round, just to mark that stitch. Just like so. And that way I always know what the first stitch of the round is, so when I come back around and I've finished my 5 rounds, I'll know where to end. So I'm actually going to do it this way because I like having a nice seamless brim. So I'm going to do 4 more rounds, and when I get to the end of this next round, I'm going to take the safety pin out, I'm going to do 2 stitches, and then I'm going to put the safety pin in, so I'm going to move it up a row every time. Just so I can keep track of where that stitch is. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 more rounds of single crochet, no increases or decreases, 72 stitches all the way around. If you want to do it the way I'm doing it, which is a seamless brim, awesome. Or you can continue to do as we were doing, slip stitch into your first stitch of the round, chain 1, and do your single crochet rounds that way. Either way works beautifully. This is how I'm going to do it though. So I will meet you after I have finished my 5th round of single crochets. Alright, I have finished my 5 rounds of single crochet here at the brim. And because I chose to work in a spiral, you can see this is a very seamless brim. But no matter whether you chose to do the seamless brim or whether you decided to slip stitch to the beginning of your row and chain 1 and work your row that way, no matter what you chose to do, we should all be at our slip stitch point. So for me and anyone who did seamless, you can remove your stitch marker, safety pin, extra piece of yarn, whatever you used to mark your first stitch. For others, you should just be at the end of your round, ready to slip stitch to your next stitch. So it doesn't really matter. We are all going to slip stitch to the next stitch. For those who did seamless, you're just going to go to the next stitch and you're going to slip stitch right into it. This is going to bring your single crochet rounds down to the level of the bottom of your brim. And for those who did the other version, go ahead and slip stitch and we should be left with our one loop on the hook. We are then going to yarn over and pull through the one loop and then pull our tail long. You're going to need enough to weave in, so you want enough to work with to put through your tapestry needle. Then get your scissors and we can cut our yarn and pull out our tail there. So now we're left with just our tail at the bottom of the brim here. So we have two ends to weave in. We have this one at the bottom, and inside we have this one as well. Now, when it comes to the one on the inside, if you would like to add a pom-pom, I suggest you don't weave this one in, and you can utilize it to help secure any pom-pom that you add to your hat, and then you can weave it in later. And I'm not going to show how to weave it in on this one because I haven't decided if I'm going to add a pom-pom, because this is more of a beanie. I usually add pom-poms to my more slouchy hats, but since I haven't decided, I'm not going to weave that in. However, the process is pretty much the same as the one I'm going to show you here. So grab your tapestry needle and your yarn, and this is how I get kind of thick yarn through the tapestry needle. So the tapestry needle obviously has the eye. If you turn it to where the eye is facing you and the flat edge is facing the ceiling, you're going to take your yarn and put it on top of the needle like so. You're going to grab really close there, and you're going to pull it. You're going to pull that folded yarn and hold it as tight against the edge of the eye there, and then pull the needle out. So you should have a pretty thin piece of yarn right there. Then you're going to take your eye, face it towards the ceiling, and you're going to shove that fold right into the eye there, and it should come through pretty easily. I learned that from Very Pink Knits here on YouTube. That is how she threads her tapestry needle. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we want to flip the hat inside out. All right. So we should have all of the ugly side facing us. Now what we want to do is we want to take our tapestry needle. We want to go, I usually go not to the first row, but to the second row. And we're going to find some of the legs of the single crochets, and we're just going to slide our needle under the legs of those stitches. If you have dark yarn like I do, this might be a little more difficult to see. If you have lighter yarn, it's a little easier. But there are little legs there that you can put your needle under and just work under about anywhere between 5 and 8. If you have a really sticky yarn like a wool or a wool acrylic blend or acrylic, you can probably get away with fewer. If you were working with something kind of slick like Caron Simply Soft, Premier Ever Soft, Loops and Thread Soft and Shiny, you'll probably want to do a few additional ones because that yarn is very slick and can come undone very easily. After you've gone from 5 to 8, go ahead and turn the hat. We're going to go back the other way, and I go up one more row, and we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to, under the legs of some of those single crochets, just going to put the needle under there, work our way down the row. And if you left enough of a tail, you can even do it a third time if you're really worried about it coming out. I'm not. This is a pretty sticky yarn. It's going to hold on to itself pretty well. So that's woven in both directions. then you can take your scissors and cut, because it's on the inside, you can, just leave a little there if you want. But anyway, if you're not going to add a pom-pom, you will definitely want to go ahead and weave in the one in the top of the hat. If you are, you can do that in whatever way you want to secure it. I don't have a really good way of securing them. I tend to just do it whatever way works. And there you have it, a beautiful crocheted ribbed beanie. It's wonderful, it's handsome, it can be done in any yarn, and it's really great for pretty much any adult member of your family. So I hope you enjoyed making this. You can tag me on Instagram with your finished hat at WSpargurKnits. You can find that in the video description box below if you aren't sure how to spell my last name. And I can't wait to see the hats that you have made. And yeah, so tag me, show me your creations, and I will see you again here very soon on the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel.